In today's video, I want to talk about reprogramming the subconscious mind. How to convince your subconscious mind of these new beliefs that you are practicing, how to make them true for you in your physical experience. Let's get right into it. So the main principle through which we will navigate this video is this one thing that I learned very early on in my spiritual awakening journey. And this was from the book, The Master Key System, which really at that time, that was like the book for me that really opened up my mind, because I did come from a very materialist background. You know, like I was a type of person to only believe in scientific evidence and everything like that. And I never, ever considered anything spiritual, because I grew up in a religious family. So throughout my life, I realized that, like, you know, a lot of these religious teachings, they don't even work. And, you know, how are we still kind of not really living the best life that we could possibly live? So I was kind of resistant towards all that religion and everything. And I was really leaning towards science. So as I started to wake up on my spiritual journey, the Master Key System was like amazing, because it really woke me up to the spiritual perspective in a very scientific way. So if you're watching this video right now and you have a very scientific mind, read the book, The Master Key System. It has like the greatest scientific explanation for why all of these things work, okay? Even perhaps better than reality transurfing. Reality transurfing takes it to a different level though. But the one principle that I learned within it very early on in the book, I believe it was like chapter 4, was that whatever the conscious mind practices, right, is what eventually the subconscious mind considers the truth. Okay? The subconscious mind just purely accepts whatever comes to it, whatever is passed on to it. So think of the subconscious mind as just like a blank slate, and it will literally make real for you anything that you give to it. However, before getting to the subconscious mind, there is a filter of the conscious mind. The conscious mind is that filter through which any sort of information or ideas or thoughts have to pass, and either they make it through the filter or they don't. So throughout your life, ever since you've been growing up, right, you are born as a blank slate. And you just start to form all these perceptions, all these beliefs based on your surroundings, based on your conditioning. And so this creates a layer of your conscious mind. This creates a filter, right? So let's say you grew up in a very difficult kind of surroundings, poverty, maybe like abusive parents, everything like that. So that creates your filter now of what you think life is like, who you think you are, what you think reality is. Now, when you come across some of these law of attraction principles and everything, they're telling you that, oh, life is abundant, wonderful, joyful. Now, all those ideas have to pass through that filter. So you see, at least in the beginning stages, this filter is so thick and so strict that it won't even allow those beliefs to pass through. And even if you continue to practice those beliefs for a long time, they might still not pass through. So one thing to understand is really crucial, is that you have this filter of the conscious mind, which is very skeptical, which will only allow to pass information through that is actually congruent with what it already believes. So you will always find it easier to believe what you already believe, something that is like in nature to what you already believe. Okay, that's why you hang out with the people that are like you, because they believe the same type of things, because you guys agree on a lot of things, and so on and so forth. So why is this principle crucial to understand when we're trying to reprogram our subconscious mind? Well, number one is this. When you're on the journey to manifesting your dream life, right? Your empowerment journey, your spiritual journey, where you are waking up to grander perspectives of what life could be like, of what you can create. In the beginning stages, it is so crucial to understand that you might not see the results that you want to see. I don't know for how long, that's all dependent on how thick your filter is, but regardless of how like in nature it is to these new law of attraction teachings, there still will be certain integration period where you aren't seeing the results that you want to see. Why? Because You have grown up for decades and lived a life with a certain type of perception, a certain filter, which even if you entertain a lot of these beliefs, like I can create my own reality, reality transurfing and all that, even if you entertain them and you like to think those thoughts, your conscious mind at a deeper level is still not accepting it and letting it pass through to the subconscious. So it is very crucial to understand that in the beginning stages, you really have to be all in and still be willing to practice, regardless of the fact that you are not getting results. You will still get results to, minute proportions, and you literally have to follow that trail because these results get bigger and bigger and bigger. But in that integration period, be patient with yourself. Be patient with the teachings. Never disbelieve in the teachings. Rather, reconsider your approach. Reconsider the fact that maybe you are not allowing this teaching to work for you. Because as I said before, reality always has to honor your current worldview. Let's say your subconscious mind has to always honor your current worldview. Okay, and if you don't allow those teachings to pass through, because at a deeper level you're still clinging on to your old beliefs, well, now this change is not possible for you. But we can create this change through reprogramming the subconscious mind. How? By practicing what we want to make real for us. It's really so simple. The subconscious mind accepts what the conscious mind practices. What you do every single day, what you believe every single day, what you practice every single day is eventually what will create your filter. So the filter that I talk about of the conscious mind, don't think of it as like a stagnant thing. It is constantly changing. It is constantly becoming something else every single day. The beliefs and the thoughts that you fuel with your energy, with your attention, continue to maintain this filter. And the ones that you don't fuel with your energy anymore, they just fall away. So on your empowerment journey, practice empowering beliefs. Regardless of what you see outside, if you continue to practice the belief that you are the creator of your life, if you continue to practice the belief that like energy attracts like energy, so I'm going to practice this positive energy, and all these other beliefs, like, all these techniques of law of attraction and reality transurfing, the advantage method, seeking the positive in every negative situation or in any situation, always knowing that my world takes care of me, right? The mirror reality principle, visualization. If you literally start to practice all of these things wholeheartedly with no judgment and just full patience with yourself every single day throughout this entire integration period, what starts to happen is that your filter starts to change. Your filter starts to become something else. Your filter now starts to become more like what you actually want it to be. And all these beliefs start to pass on to your subconscious mind, and then they become real for you. So the results you get truly will be in accordance with how much you practice this way of living. So from today onwards, instead of the contents of your reality, focus more on how you live. Focus more on how you want to be. Focus more on what you want this filter to consist of, and practice only that. And then little by little, all of these beliefs will become natural for you. The subconscious mind will learn to accept what this new filter has become, and then something magical is going to happen. The old beliefs that you used to subscribe to, like all that lack and limitation and I have to do this in order to achieve this so I could feel this way, those beliefs won't be able to pass through anymore. So right now, maybe you have a difficult time thinking positive thoughts and negative thoughts are just natural to you. Well, over time and practice, positive thoughts, that frequency, that vibration will become so natural to you, so effortless to you, and it will become the filter that negative thoughts won't pass through as easily. Trust me, I know, like when I started my journey, I was very self-critical. I was very self-judgmental, very low self-esteem. And those types of thoughts were very easy for me to think. And it was hard for me to, turn the meter the other way. But little by little, I kept going. And over the past 2.5 years or so, I've literally dedicated my whole life to this process. I've dedicated my whole life to these teachings. And for that reason, I'm seeing these results. My filter literally day by day, even though when I didn't think anything was happening, my filter was changing every single day. And eventually, my filter just became these beliefs that are now real for me, now that are effortless for me. And now something funny that I notice is like, okay, if I hang out with my friends that I've been friends with for a while now, and they're still in that other type of worldview. I remember just last week I went to a Mets game, a baseball game with a couple of my friends, and two of them are discussing certain really limiting beliefs about how as you grow older, life is going to become more and more limiting. This is the only time we have now to enjoy, and we have to just take what we can get. And two of my friends were discussing about how they're just trying to secure their benefits, or like through the jobs and everything, and they're just going for jobs through which they can get a comfortable means of living. So that's okay and all. I'm not judging that way of living. However, those beliefs, right, that subscribe to limitation, subscribe to lack, subscribe to certain poverty mindset, no longer pass through my filter. They get stopped right there. You actually start to be like, oh no, that's not the truth. The same way you used to think of law of attraction, does this actually work? Is this actually true? Same way you start thinking about those beliefs. Like, how can that be true? But the thing is, you have to maintain and practice this filter by constantly just practicing these new beliefs every single day. This is truly the way to reprogram your mind. So throughout my journey, to give you a couple of examples, I used to be very vigilant in reprogramming my mind. So as soon as I used to wake up, literally right away, I used to play this affirmations tape from Abraham Hicks. For at least, I think, the first year and a half of my journey, I played that every single day, even when I was in college. Every single morning as I was brushing my teeth, I used to listen to that. And eventually, literally, that starts to sit in your mind, and you start to believe that that is true. And it becomes the truth for you. I've always said before in my videos, it doesn't matter what you believe is true. It doesn't matter what is true, only what you believe to be true, because over time and practice, that will become true for you. So those things became true for me. And then at night, I would also listen to those rampages of appreciation or those affirmation tapes as I'm going to bed. In the middle of the day, I'm continuing to meditate. I was continuing to listen to certain rampages, certain other speakers talking about empowerment and creating your own reality and just living your best life. So you see, throughout your day, introduce your mind to those new thoughts. Introduce your self to new ideas that you do want to become real for you. And even though if right now you have a hard time believing if it can ever become real for you, just keep doing it again and again and again. And little by little, truly your conscious mind will comprise of that filter and just allow those beliefs to pass through, and your subconscious will accept them. And then you will see the proof of them in your reality, which then further confirms that yes, these are real. Then you don't need proof. Then it just becomes effortless. But even to this day, I continue to reprogram my mind towards more and more empowering beliefs, more spiritual type of oneness teachings. So even today, I still listen to things in the morning. Even today, I still listen to things when I'm going to bed. And throughout the middle of the day, I'm obviously preaching a lot of this stuff. I'm practicing it in my life and, keeping this process going. So we want to literally turn the table completely from lack and limitation to empowerment, bliss, love, oneness. And we do this little by little, just by reprogramming our mind. The mind is a program, right? Like when someone creates a computer system, right? They do all this programming, and now the computer functions that way. The mind is the same way. If you program the computer a different way to function a different way, it will function a different way. So the same with the mind. The mind is just like the container, right? It can function either or, any way that you program it to function. So now, doesn't matter if you were born in really limiting conditions, right? Like nothing can be done about that fact. But what can be done about it is to reprogram the entire program through which your life is operating to a program that you actually want to tune into, that you actually want controlling your life, and just continuing to practice it, continuing to further develop it into more of what you want. Okay, so stay patient on this journey. You can reprogram your subconscious mind and it will happen. Don't even think of it as like a if it's going to happen. No, it will happen as long as you stay consistent, as long as you continue to practice. Okay, so continue to practice. All right, if you want to learn how to accelerate this process, click the link in the description box below and watch my free accelerated reality masterclass. All right, other than that, subscribe to this channel, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.